the hip thrust. So to start with this move, we're going to really spend a bit of time on the setup, just because there's a lot of moving parts to it, and yeah, it can get quite fiddly. So here we go. Now you'll notice I've got a cushion out. Now this is just to make it a little bit more comfortable for myself. You might use a rolled up mat if you're at the gym, or anything really, just to soften the bench on your back. Now I'm using a Reebok deck. You could use a sofa for this, you could use a park bench, you could use a gym bench, anything like that of a similar sort of height would be fine. So I'm going to put the cushion on the bench again just to soften it up a little bit, and I'm going to get down into a position where realistically I want it just so my shoulder blades are just over it, and that tends to be fine for most people. You can change that just to make the exercise a little bit easier. So for example, if we are higher up, now I've got less distance to travel, and so it's an easier move. Okay. So as we were just saying, I'm going to go for the variant where my shoulder blades are just over the bench, and then from there I'm going to get up first into a position where my shin bones are more or less vertical. Then I'll put my weight back on the bench, and from there I'm going to drop the hips down and then just drive them up. And again. And we can always add a weight as well. If we put a weight onto your thighs here, that'll make it a little bit more intense. Now, a couple of coaching points here. We want to make sure that we're getting the movement from the hips. So as we say, that we want to create that nice canister position around the midsection, and all that means is we're just going to create some tension. So again, we're tensing those abs and the butt cheeks like we're expecting to get a punch in the gut, and we want to be able to brace for it. One phrase that I like here is that you can't shoot a cannonball out of a canoe, and all that means is we're just after trying to create a nice stable base so that we can create strength from there. So again, we've made that tension, and what we're really trying to avoid here is moving from the spine instead. So again, you can see I've gone quite soft here. It's actually my back that's bending and then lifting up. There's not a lot going on at the hips. Whereas if I move from the hips, my body, the rest of my body is still quite stiff and moving as a whole. Another thing is sometimes with the neck, people let the neck drop down, and that makes you want to arch the upper back, which then again makes you want to arch the lower back, and that can make this quite painful. But yeah, in a nutshell, that's what it is. So again, major coaching points: shins more or less vertical, moving from the hips down and up, all the rest of the body, lots of nice tension just to hold everything in place. And that's the hip thrust.